But thank you very much. I
Thank you.
do believe that a lot of patients do need to know that they are not alone and they do not feel alone in this. They are not the only ones on the earth going through this. And this is very, very important. I think you mirrored it and resemble it perfectly, how important it is to actually have, first of all, the support system, the diagnosis, how it is important not to lose hope. And now you have reached the stage where you are finally symptom free, and I'm so happy for you. And you get now to be a voice of the patients worldwide, and you get to actually bring the message further. So I would like to use the chance and ask you, what are the main pain points of the patients at the moment? How we in this platform can contribute and maybe use the time of our experts to actually answer and cover up some of these questions.
That's a great question. I communicate with many other patients online through social media because patients are desperate for information. So they will get a new diagnosis. They will go on. We've all done this. I don't know if the physicians do it, but we do it. We go online and we try to figure out what it is, right? And many of them will come to social media to find other people who have similar experiences. And what I have noticed across the board is that they're not getting a proper diagnosis, one, but they're not getting a proper diagnosis that then leads to evidence-based recommendations. What they say, and you can see it just by what they're reporting as what medications they're taking, et cetera. The physicians that they're seeing who may be in primary care or be their GPs who are trying their best, right, are treating these episodes with ineffective treatments. And patients do not know what is out there. They do not know that there's something other than just taking the normal dose of antihistamines or twice the normal dose of antihistamines. And I know from GAAPP, I know from Galen, that education is everywhere. I think the pain point is that they're not getting that information. Right. So what it takes are champions like everyone on this call, myself, then communicating to the patients we see who are struggling. Do not lose hope. Do not despair. We can connect you to the information so that you can get proper treatment. I think that's a big pain point. I think another pain point that and this is not the case across the board because I had very caring physicians, but I do think that there can be a dismissive attitude towards hives, that it's, we've all had itches, some people will say, like, use this lotion, you can get it at the store and you'll feel better, right? Family does that, some physicians do that. And I feel it's important to impress upon people just how, and again, I go back to the word excruciating this is, just how much this impacts every facet of your life. I've never experienced anything like it. I hope it doesn't come across as being dramatic because it really is that significant. That's another pain point. I think people not appreciating that.
Yeah. And I think for us as a physicians, it's very, very important to hear that and to actually get this reassurance that the information that we put out in the world is still very much needed, because we tend to repeat it day by day, multiple times per day,
Yes.
same old, and we somehow feel that there's not much left to say, but actually there is still a lot of things to say and a lot of to teach and a lot of to bring by to the world and to educate. So the work of everyone is very, very
Yes.
important. So thank you, first of all, for the work that you're doing. And I got a question regarding the medication that you've been taking, and I want to stress out that it's very, very important to get the consultation with your physician, first of all, before trying to get any type of medication, and not to get into self-medication too much, but just out of interest. So what is the biologic that finally got your symptoms under control, if you could share?
Sure. So the biologic I took was Xolair, and it was administered by my allergist. I would go in once a month and have an injection in the back of each one of my arms. And the experience was quite quick. I would then sit in the office for about an hour afterward. I'd do work. They'd have Wi-Fi, so I would do work just to make sure that I didn't have a reaction. And then I would sort of go about my day. So that is what ultimately did that for me.
Thank you for sharing. And just once again, it's very important to consult prior with your physician, get all the necessary blood work done, and
Yes.
stay observed under medical observation. Do those
Yes.
things. But just to once again put the highlight on the hope, there are options that you could still explore. And most of the patients also here in our comment section are discussing that it's very important not only to get a diagnosis, but to also get a follow-up treatment and to be further on in control, and by as needed to get investigated once again. So I would like to circle back and cover up a few more questions to Özge and Carolina. Maybe we could get back a little bit there. The metabolic syndrome has got a little bit more attention in this case. So I would like to just put the highlights on it, and to ask you, Carolina, on the way we diagnose metabolic syndrome in general, and could that be a reason for exacerbation of urticaria, or maybe it could, in any case, work as a marker, of a predictive marker for the more severe disease?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, well, the metabolic syndrome is actually diagnosed by 8 different criterions. One of them is the abdominal circumference, that it's increased. No? Then the body mass index, which also relates with the formal what we approve, is over 25, which also takes about obesity. First grade. Then we have blood samples like triglycerides or HDL cholesterol. There's usually high blood pressure, which the patient takes either by himself at home or every time he goes to the physician. And there it's also glucose in blood. It's also sugar tested in the blood. And the insulin could be also an insulin resistant. It's also a criterion for this disease.
Okay, and from your scientific point of view, could that be a marker for predicting possibly more severe development of the disease?
So at the moment, we don't have the data, or not enough data to say it is a trigger or not, but we see that there is a good relationship with it.
Okay, thank you very much. And one more question to Özge. So angioedema, we touched upon it, hereditary angioedema, just urticaria-associated angioedema. For the patient, it's a very debilitating and very scary condition. This is one of the most common reasons for emergency room visits for urticaria patients. And they do tend to have a lot of fear when they do experience something like that. What is very important to know about the angioedema associated with urticaria? What do patients have to be aware of?
Yes, it's a good question. Thank you for that. Patients should know that angioedema accompanying urticaria is not dangerous and not cause the death. So take it easy, okay? And if it's hereditary, it will be dangerous. But as I mean, if it's together with urticaria, it's not a big deal.
Thank you very much for sharing that. And we are approaching slowly the end of our webinar. I'm very, very grateful for your time today. Despite all the technical difficulties, I do believe we all enjoyed it, and we all had a great time here gathered together. And there are many aspects that urticaria touch upon on our daily lives. One of them is being family planning, is being pregnancy, birth, and lactation for new mothers. And this is something that we'll be discussing pretty soon on the 11th of June, exactly at the same time at 6 p.m. Central European time. Be sure to register and join and improve your knowledge on that. Spread the message and tell the mothers that may be affected by urticaria to join this webinar. We'll have great experts and great panelists joining and discussing further on. Once again, please stay connected with us. There are so many things we want to discuss with you. We want to answer all of your questions, and we want to bring you knowledge, bring you the experience, and bring you together with other patients and the experts worldwide. So please be sure to scan this QR code and stay in touch with us. Text us, write us, tag us on the post, stories, anything that you can think of. We are eager to keep engaged. And last but not least, please let us improve the way we teach you, the way we present the information to you. We are very excited to have and gather your feedback, and we are looking forward for an improvement and to provide you with the best experience possible. And I want to thank our sponsors. Without them, that would not be possible to gather all the experts around the world here. So thank you very much. But most importantly, thank you, experts, for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all participants. Thank you for engaging in the discussion. And there are still many more questions to answer. And this is why I hope to see you on the 11th of June. Have a lovely evening, and thank you for your time.